guys, it is DJ. We are back with another hardware preview. Today we got some really cool stuff. So we have the Thrustmaster SimTask Farm Stick and the SimTask Steering Kit. This basically allows you to control this in any direction you want. You can see we've got a lot of different hardware down here. So you can set it to be up like that. You can set it to be straight in front of you. You can bring it up a little bit and get it closer to you and then angle it up. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can do this. And I'll be honest with you, this is awesome. I don't know why anyone's never thought of this before. For example, if you're doing some trucking, man, leave it like pointed up, or if your desk is too short, you can even angle it up even further. But if you're doing a little bit of racing, like literally, you can get this in any way. And if you just leave it, it goes down to zero. Like it sits level, perfectly level, if you just let it go. That's so cool! It also comes with this knob, and you can put it anywhere on the wheel that you want to. It also works with the T248, which is what we're using here, the Xbox PC version, or it works with the T128, which are, I think, about half the price. You get those really easily at Walmart, places like that. And really, that's kind of it when it comes to the steering wheel setup. However, the joystick is like one of the coolest pieces of equipment I've ever used. And we got two of them here. So on here, there's a lot of different mappings that you can do. We actually have something called work mode and drive mode. In order to get back and forth between the two, what you gotta do is you gotta hit the top button on the back. We actually have two buttons. The bottom one just is an extra button for you. The top one, you press that and your light is gonna turn white and yellow. Like here, for example. Right now we are in drive mode. And we press it, and we go into work mode. There's only a couple buttons that change when you're in working mode and driving mode, but when you are in working mode, this right here will increase and decrease your cruise control. You've also got these buttons here, which change your gears and your setups. You can also press this button down. It's got a clicky button. And what that'll do is it'll just take off. In working mode, it's a little bit different because you've got full control over whether you want to control these to do one thing or another. You can actually map those yourself and you're good to go. So, big question, console or PC? Well, here's the thing. The T128 and the T248 actually work on console. So if you have an Xbox version or PlayStation version, you can use those on console. And actually I did a video like 2 years ago showing how to do that. So if you get the steering kit, you can use that on no matter what you're doing because it's really just hardware. However, when it comes to the Pharma Stick, this is PC only. Today I'm also going to be using another piece of equipment from Thrustmaster. We have their flying clamp on here. This is allowing everything to be on here and hold tight. So let's say you're playing on PC and you know you want to get one of these. If you're curious, how is it all set up when you first start out? Well, this right here is exactly the way you get it. I do want to thank RG Gamer for sending this over because I didn't know this page existed without him. So shout out to you, bro. Taking a look at this, we can see that we have cruise control for on and off, changing driving direction, and things like that. Very easy to manage and review all of this. Then we can also see where we've got our change in working mode and driving mode. One interesting thing is I think they're backwards on this screen. The things that are supposed to do the things in driving mode do the things in working mode and vice versa. So just a heads up there. Also, you've got that button on the very back, and that's pretty cool. All kinds of motion for this all the way around. This is it's like the coolest thing ever. So if you're planning on getting one of these, well, you can get one via the link in the description, and you can see everything that it does right here. But the great thing is, you can delete all of this and just set it up yourself. However, I am not going to delete everything, and I'm not going to just sit around. I am going to use this. So one of the neat things is when you're walking around, you can actually just use the stick by itself. When you turn it, it doesn't do anything. However, if we take the knob at the very top, look at that! You can run around, and then if we push forward and press the second button in the back, we can run. So we basically have full movement everywhere on the map just with this. While we're here, there is one button that jumps. Oh, it's crouched right there, and then I think another one jumps. Yeah, right above it. So you've got the two buttons right here in the dead center that will do all of the jumping and moving around for you. So cool. So I see a tractor over there, so I want to go to that. So I'm going to strafe my way over, and then run! And it does nothing. We have to be able to jump into the tractor, so we're going to use one of the buttons on the sides, the top left one, right over here on the right-hand side. Now from here, go back and forth, it's not going to do anything. So we need to start up. Actually, running beacons. Let's turn those off. I had a little bit of fun beforehand. So immediately, this controls the front loader. So let's see if I can go through here, we'll boom out. See, in this mode right here, when I go into working mode, this driving mode, this controls my cruise control
down there.
So we will go out of that into working mode. That way I can zoom in and out, and we can move around so you can see exactly how I'm doing things. I do have my view set pretty fast. Actually, I've got my Xbox controller that I normally use. The wheel is fun, but it's super tough to use the wheel when you're standing up. So we're skipping that today. So how do we control this tractor? Well, I mentioned that you could set your cruise control if you want. You've got that. But if we pull back or push forward or even go side to side, we've got all the motion from the front loader. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can see good. We can zoom all the way around through here, which I think is one of the neatest things. I could just do this with one stick, and if I use the other one, then I could drive and use that for steering or whatever I wanted to do. Maybe I push the button on the very back. But this allows me to go forwards and drop down like that. Then I press the button on the back, and the side to side is my grab on. So whenever I'm doing that, I can just grab on super easy with that, but I can still raise and lower. So let's say I want to raise it up, and we'll kind of jump, and then go like that, and then like that, and then crunch. Very, very difficult. I'm not a pro when it comes to using a side controller, but I'm doing my best. So what are some of the other buttons we can do? Well, we have our brights, or the beacon there. We've got all of our lights around towards the sides. We have those. There's also a couple other buttons. I think we've got horn on one of those. And then this one over here on the left-hand side, it's mapped to, I believe it was supposed to be a different button. I think it's like skip around or change tool, but for me it's drop stuff on the floor. So that's that. We also have a couple other things through here where we can like raise and lower implements. So let me show you that. Here we have a Massey Ferguson. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, and I like this tractor. This allows us to do a couple things. So first off, we need to start it up because it's not going to do anything. So let's hit the start button and it starts up again. We got our beacons there, we've got everything. I think that's the horn. I don't have my headphones on right now, but we can push a couple different buttons. So we have one that turns on our implement. So whatever we've got, we just click that, and it's got a little gear with a bit over it. So it works exactly the way you would expect it to with that. Super, super cool. Then we have another one that lowers everything. So that's awesome. If you had manual change direction turned on, you could also use the change direction button for that, but because I don't have that situated, don't have that set up, this does nothing.
At least in my game.
We've also got a button that folds and unfolds everything. So let's say we're at the field and we've got this piece of equipment here, all with one controller. I can utilize this to see the implement in the very back. We can unfold the whole thing just from a single button, the little black button right here on the bottom, and then once that is done, because we don't have to turn this on, we just drop down lower, and then if you've got it set to go forward on here, it'll go forward. One thing I figured I should let you guys know, I did try setting it up to where like I used secondary buttons to go forward with the stick itself, because this does the front loader fine, yeah, but maybe if I hold the button in the back, maybe that would only do it. And yeah, it kind of does it with some of the stuff, but I did that and reverse worked, and actually used the twisting for turning it, because that does nothing in this mode, and it worked, but going forwards didn't work, which was kind of odd. But I could just press that button, and whatever set my cruise control is on, as long as I'm in drive, we're good to go there. Now, there's a couple other buttons here. These two orange buttons, what this does is it changes my gear. So if you've got this set to manual gears, well, that's how you're going to change your gears. I've also got groups here, so high, medium, and low, or whatever you've got through there, you change those with that. Let's talk about custom key bindings, because this is very similar to some of the other equipment that we have used in the past from other brands. Now, all of my stuff for my gamepad is going to be on the right-hand side, and all my stuff for the gamepad's on the left-hand side, okay? That's two gamepads. Well, of course. So this is neat. So I'm able to use my Xbox controller if I want to, and I can have that on the one on the left, and then I can use my Sim stick and have that on the one on the right. But you can interchange, you go back and forth, and the one on the right doesn't have to be this, and the one on the left doesn't have to be the Xbox controller. Or I can use this on one side and use this one on the other. They're independent. However, I do want to tell you this. So after doing previous videos on other controllers, and then now we've got the Thrustmaster stuff in, I have noticed that it doesn't matter if I have an Xbox controller plugged in or a wheel plugged in, nothing like that. The settings on here do save. If you guys are on PC, you can actually set up different key binding setups and load those and unload those in if you want to. Definitely recommend doing that. And RG Gaming is actually speaking, I think, with FSP Mining about that. Who knows? But what I do know is I have a lot of custom key bindings on my Xbox controller, making it super difficult when I come in here and try and do something. So this is a use case for me, and I want to be honest with you guys so that you know, like, hey, I really like using my Xbox controller, and I've got stuff key binded on that I don't even remember all of it, but I know how it works. Well, just be careful. Because when DJ Goham jumped in earlier today, he had to delete all of his key bindings just to get stuff to work. But I think that's more of a me thing. What do I should do? I wanted to jump out real quick again and show you some of the other things that this could do, because this is super duper powerful. Looking at the top left hand corner, of course we have the turn on and off cruise control. We have changing directions with the orange button that I told you about. Raising and lowering the tool, turning the tools on and off. We did all of that. And then you see tool function 4, tool function 3. What would those be? Well, those are custom bindings. Some of them are already binded. In other situations, you'll find that they're not binded. So you can actually go in and set those to custom buttons that you think would work well. We've also got on the right-hand side the fold and unfold all tool. This is super cool and super helpful, especially when you've got a couple different things. Well, that works great. Moving on down, in the very center, this is the attach and detach. However, for me, that wasn't actually doing anything, and the fold, or the select next tool, that's what was attaching. So that's what worked for me out of the box without changing anything. However, for you guys at home, maybe switched up a little bit different. I did download the latest firmware that came out
a couple days ago.
So I'm on at least newer firmware than maybe what you would be on. A bigger firmware. Of course, we saw the turn on and off beacon light down here, and then we have the previous tool button. For me, that didn't really do anything. We just kind of changed up everything. On the front row here, we have the front working lights, which didn't, that beeped for me. We also had the middle button, which changed our working lights and turned on all the lights. And on the far right, that's supposed to be the rear working light, but again, just the center button did all of that for me. Going into the middle, we have 5, 6, 7 buttons. There's a bunch of buttons in the middle. On the left-hand side and right-hand side, we have indicators, so those work great for me. Switching vehicles on the outside of the center button, that works good. And then we have a start button, a little start button, but it's a start button, and we have that. On the right-hand side, on the top row, we have get in and out. The middle button was also get in and out, but for me, that was a menu. And on the right, there's another menu, and then at the bottom, we have the shop, toggle map size, and hire AI worker, which all did not do those things for me. And then, of course, on the back, we have the toggle working mode on the top, going back and forth between work mode, yellow, and orange. And then the back one, the middle, doesn't really do anything, but it always does something. And of course, as I mentioned, between working mode and driving mode, those, I think, are flip-flopped. So this is super easy to manage. It's really, really intuitive. All the buttons pretty much do the things you would expect them to do, which is really nice. Let's see, we'll jump in that. That's the button that's supposed to be. But yeah, you basically do all the stuff that you need to do. Let's raise this up. Let's fold it, and I don't have driving on, so I gotta grab my controller again, standing up. Steering wheels don't work for anyone else standing up. A lot of people all around the world have been doing videos on this specific piece of equipment. So if you haven't seen maybe RZ's video, maybe clutch simulations, go check those guys out, because they're going to do things a lot differently than I am. And maybe after watching this video, you still have some questions on it. So make sure you go check those out for the guys more. So now it is time for you guys. What else do you want to know about this? Do you think that I can answer? Maybe there's some comparisons that you want to see. Those will be coming, but they will be in this video. Maybe there's something you want to see about the steering kit, which I think is around the corner over there somewhere. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you got any ideas, drop them down there as well. And if there's anything you want to see in the future, let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for Thrustmaster for sending these over to show you guys early. And just hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.